Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Mike. Hope you're enjoying the content so far. And I'm here for a gear dump. So I'm sure everybody's wondering, we're going to spend 10 days off grid. And you got to be slightly curious of what am I going to take to survive 10 days completely off grid and still manage to do some hunting. So we're going to start with a gear dump for the Manitou Island hunt. And the first and most important thing is going to be the pack. A lot of you guys and girls have probably already seen this pack online. They're very popular. I'm actually borrowing this from a friend of mine because they're very difficult to find at a reasonable price. So I'd like to try it before I spend a significant amount of money on buying one. This is the Marine ILBE pack, military surplus, and the Marpack camo. And I'm not going to get into too much detail on this because, like I said, there's a bunch of videos. These are really popular. Okay, so now what is going to go in this? And I do have a very comprehensive list that I created for me, and I'll put that actually on the screen. Now you can see there's quite a bit of things that are on this list, and they're pretty specialized for me and what I'm going to be doing. The list is very helpful, I find, for most people, but you may need to modify it for your own purposes. But it pretty much covers all the essentials. And I will check these things off as I pack them so that I know they are put where they need to be and I have them, because there's nothing worse than getting to where you're going and realize you forgot something. And I actually have some experience with that. I was really devastated. That'll be that might be a campfire story for another video, but we'll talk about that, because I'll tell you, that was one of the most devastating moments of my life, but we'll talk about that later. Anyways, this is everything that I'm going to put. I have detached the lid of the bag, and this, like I said, is my quick grab stuff. So this is more quick essential things that I may need in a hurry. And we're going to start with what I would suggest is potentially one of the most important things. We're dropped off by boat. If you get hurt, it could be days before somebody comes to get you. So having a decent first aid kit is really important to me. This is a pretty generic one, and I know that sounds crazy, but a lot of these first aid kits, they also have a bunch of what I consider junk survival stuff that just is weight and room that I don't need. This is really basic. Just unzips, and it has your essentials in there: cold compress, tape. I added some things. I highly recommend you do that for your first aid kits. A little bit of moleskin. I added some quick clot to pour into some open wounds. We have butterfly bandages, ibuprofen, sting relief. There's even some sunscreen in here. But this is just important stuff for me to be able to patch myself up if I need to. There's some really nice things in here. I actually picked this up at Walmart. I'm not a huge fan of Walmart, but I had to be there anyways. And I think it was about 20 bucks, relatively nicely priced. And then I added some moleskin. I added the quick clot stuff, added the ibuprofen to it. And that's all stuff I really had sitting around anyway. So first aid kit, just stuff it right into the bag here. Next on the list of things is a little bit of paracord. This is orange. So again, if something were to happen, I can grab this out. Worst case scenario, you can tie this around yourself, create a makeshift tourniquet. You could use this to string up your bag, or if you have a tarp, which I'll be taking a tarp, you can make a makeshift shelter with this. This is great stuff to have and easily accessible quickly. So put that in there. This is one people don't think of. Little teeny tiny roll. These are garbage bags. These are like the small ones. Leave no trace. Everybody's heard it. I'm a big fan of that. I like to go to clean environments, clean forests and woods. I hate seeing other people's trash. We have to pack all of our trash off the island. So I will be using this, and if you do it right, you don't create a bunch of trash. So I don't have very many. So those are just going to go in there for easy access when we're in the tent. Headlamp. This will be in here when we hike out, and then I have a day bag, and we'll go over that in the next video. of what's in that. This is going to be in here for the hike out, and then I will transfer this to my day bag where it will live. This is a black diamond. I don't actually remember the model of this. I've had it a few years now, but what's this say here? Black Diamond Cosmo. I want to say this is around 9,500 lumens, something like that. And it's pretty bright. And it also has, you know, a smaller light on it and the red light. So very adjustable, very comfortable. It tilts down. So this is going to be easily accessible here in the top. Also, a knife. I'm actually taking two knives. This one is a little bit more sturdy. It's a fixed blade knife. This here, I actually I had got this down at the knife store in Tennessee, if you guys are in that area and have a few days of time to wander around. One of the coolest stores I've probably ever been in. They will custom engrave your knife, so that was pretty cool. It has a nice walnut handle on it, which you can see needs to be oiled up a little bit, but that gets with use. I just got this last year, so it's still brand new, still razor sharp, because they sharpened it and polished it for me also. And then I have a really nice leather sheath with the belt loop here, so I can keep this on me. This is really nice. In a pinch, you know, it's pretty heavy. I would be, you know, I could split wood with this if I had to. I could carve, make some tent stakes if I needed to, things like that. So keeping the, no, I should put that in there the right way. Let's do that right. Nice knife, sticks right in the bag there. Again, with the survival concept, it's not what you think it is. These are fire starters that somebody made for me, actually, in one of my Boy Scout friends. These are just those little white things that some ladies use for removing the makeup. Soak them in a little bit of lamp oil or something like that. Dip them in wax. They're waterproof. And I've got 3 left in here. So in a pinch, you break them up. Use a little flint and steel or a lighter, which actually, the lighter's not in here. I better put that on the list. Flint and steel or lighter. You'll fire up really quickly and get a good fire going. Speaking of fire, this is not a survival type item, but my my stove. Oh, hey, look at that, guys! I had it after all. Golly, it's like I had a list to go off of. Anyways, everybody's seen one of these. These are just a little pocket stove. This is the Amazon special for whatever it is, $15. I've used them. Are they perfect? No. Do they work well? They work pretty well. And are they cheap? Yep, it'll do. So I actually have that in a grenade pouch with a strap on it. So I've contemplated actually attaching this to it, but boy, if that ever came undone, and I'm well aware the government tests this and the soldiers use this all the time, and there's not really a big issue with it, but it's so small, I might just as well throw it in the top of the pouch here. Okay, back to survival. Flashlight. This is just a cheap little Coleman LED, and it does the white, it does red, and it does blue. I've had these for years. I got them for really cheap at the Coleman outlet. They work fantastic. So having a backup light source in there, great idea. These are wipes. They're called combat wipes. Outdoor cleansing and refreshing wipes. 100% biodegradable. There's no facilities, if you know what I mean. So we're going to be using these, 1, to try and not smell so bad, and 2, to make sure that we clean up. And they're biodegradable. So those are both going in there. Have some of these real cheap gloves. They're really, really lightweight. I mean, they weigh nothing. So kind of protect the hands. Everything seems to be wet. So, you know, protect the hands from keep them from getting cold when we're processing wood and stuff. Survival blanket. This is actually a really, really nice setup. Comes in a little bag in the plastic. I keep it in the plastic just to keep it from getting wet. So that goes in there. Last but not least, got to keep the old chompers clean. So this came, again, this also comes in a bag. I like to keep it in there just for sanitary purposes. So that's it for the lid, all the quick grab items. Now let's move to the main pack. Okay, now for the main pack. These are going to be the bigger items that are going to have to go into the pack, and we're going to want to load this so that it's nice and stable and it's not too heavy. So I also like to load it in a order that I'm going to use it. So and those things can kind of contradict each other, to be honest with you. So this is the way that I'm loading it out. So right here I have some nice bibs, insulated bibs. These are made by Redhead. These are the Silent Stalkers. I just got these specifically for this hunt. So I will absolutely do a follow-up review on these. And I guarantee you when I'm out on the island, you're going to hear me comment on this, because staying warm and dry are two of the most important things. These are supposed to be windproof and waterproof. We shall see. So I actually packed these first. Because we're showing up 2 days early, I'm not going to need these until everything else is pretty well set up. So these go into the bottom of the bag. Make sure I got my zipper zipped up. Okay. So that goes into the bottom of the bag. I just stuff it down in there all the way in the bottom. The other thing is going to be base layers. Obviously, socks. Gotta have those. I'm going to throw those in there. Base layers. These I've had for a few years. These are actually Cabela's. They're level 3, I believe. These are like the quilted type material. They're pretty thick. Zip up collar, so you know it really comes up around the back of your neck. So I like to roll my things, which I'm not going to take a ton of time to do today. Just going to try and get them in there. And this is the third time I've packed this bag. I should probably say that, full disclosure. And you'll find when you're going, the pants, same thing. You'll find when you're packing your bags, you're going to pack them and unpack them and pack them and rearrange things multiple times until you really get it down. But every situation is different. So next thing I have, this is, got this also surplus, at a surplus store at least. This is fleece lined. Basically it's a big sweatshirt with fleece lining in it. This is what the government calls their level 3 extreme cold weather. That should help keep the core nice and warm, and if your core is warm, hopefully the rest of you will be too. All right, so that's clothing, and that is you know, after I get everything else out that I'm going to need to use. So that's why it's in the bottom. Next up, this big bad baby. We saw this in the sleep system video that we did, and I will let you in on a little secret. I pulled one of the bags out. I took the green patrol bag out of this. The black bag I think is going to be plenty warm enough. All right, kids home from school. They didn't know I was making a video. Oh well. Anyways, I took out the patrol bag, so I just have the intermediate bag and the bivy. I'm not going to cut the bivy because that is my backup plan. It's completely waterproof. If something happens, I can live in that. So it does reduce the weight a little bit, reduces the size a little bit. And I hear guys complain about how big these are. This is not big. You should be able to get your MSS this compressed down to this size. You just have to keep practicing and keep trying it. This is pretty small. Now it is still heavy. I will give them that, but that's got to go in. Okay, got that in there. Now, just down to a couple other items that are going to go inside the pack. You guys saw this. Legit camping. It's my little inflatable sleeping pad. Again, very lightweight, but adds some comfort. And comfort is king when you're out there for 10 days. You don't want to be sore all day long. This little pouch, again, has the Molly, but inside here, it's all the stuff that I can take you guys with me. GoPro stuff, batteries. That charger, that MaxCam charger that was in the last video, that thing's in here. So this actually goes inside the bag. And I have the room inside the bag. It's so huge. Put that in there. Last, not least, This is a platypus water filtration system. And I know I haven't shown you this yet. I haven't used it yet. I am planning on using it when we get to the island. Day one is set up camp, firewood, and water. So you will see this come up in a video, and then I will do a follow-up with this. But this also just stuffs right down in there. Then we have a really nice drawstring here. Pull that nice and tight. Stuff that all in there. And then apply the lid. Snap it all down. That's the pack. So there's actually a couple more things that are going to go on the outside. I have 2 of them, and I'll show you what they are. So we still have a few things that we're going to put on the outside of the pack, and I have a couple of them here. And I want to start because it's so awesome. I just love the way this worked out. So this is that pouch that I showed you earlier. Fold it down. I believe this is referred to as a map pouch. So I should put a map in it. Map is in a nice Ziploc bag to keep it from getting wet and destroyed. The map itself is like it's plasticized, or I don't know. It's not laminated, but and whatever it's printed on is water resistant. So you know it'll help find. And it's a very nice map. It's got all the topographical lines on it. It's got the trails, so you should be able to figure out. And that slides right into there. So when you put this up, turn this around so you can see it. So that slides right in there. Easy access, just reach behind. I can pull this out. I don't even have to unsnap this to pull this out. But then the next thing, this guy. You remember this guy? My big blue solar panels? This is what I'm going to use to charge the batteries to be able to take you guys with me. And you're not going to believe this, or maybe you will. Let's watch this. That fits in there like it was made for it. So, put that in there. And then snap this thing shut. That's nice and tight, so I don't worry about my map falling out or my solar. If I lose the solar panel, I'll lose you guys. And I really want you to be able to enjoy this hunt. Pull this down over the top of that. Snap that up. So, that's our gear drop for our main bag. Well, I forgot something, guys. Hatchet. Gonna need a hatchet to cut up, process, and split some wood so that we can stay warm. So, this hatchet, I'm gonna take some lessons from the, ooh, I forgot. How cool is that? Goes right in the handle. That's pretty nifty. Nice little sheath. Does have a little belt loop on it, so I can hold down my belt when I'm walking around processing wood. But I don't remember who makes this. I want to say this is Gerber. You'd think it would say on the handle, but it doesn't. Anyways, that actually is going to slide. Oops, I want the blade facing away from me, preferably. So I put that right into there. And look at this, guys. Reinforced. Snap that in there. Strap number 2. Strap that in there. That ain't going anywhere. Now there is one thing that is missing from this, and it's going to go onto this side, and that is, well, you guessed it, my firearm. I am going to carry my firearm probably in a soft-sided case, and the butt is going to go into here, barrel's going to go up here, and guess what? Going to do the same thing with the straps. So aside from the gun, now let's go see how much it weighs. Okay, so now we're back out in the garage where we have our scale that we use to weigh out the tent parts, and we're going to find out how much this weighs. So, I'm going to use these nice little grab handles that they provide to pick it up. Okay, that looks to be about 30 pounds. Now, I will say 30 pounds for a week's worth of stuff is really, really light. And you may say, Mike, you're missing some things. And I would say, you're right. That's in the next video. So, for now, that's our gear drop for what we're going to put on our backpack. And this is what we're going to carry on our backs. And I say that for a reason, because we've got more videos coming. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video, comment if you have questions or suggestions on what to do differently with this pack. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I got so much more stuff coming to you guys, and I want you to see it. So for now, I'm Mike with Mansplaining. Thanks for tuning in.